Thank you very much, Ken Workington. Welcome, everybody, to a special Friday night at the Meadowlands. We are joined by trainer Roger Walmann, who's originally from Norway, now trains in Sweden. He's been there since 1991, and you're part of a large contingent of top foreign horsemen that are here for the weekend at the Meadowlands. What brings you to North America?
I like to see the races, and I love the American race horses, so I have been here many times.
And you have been very busy today. I understand you were at Jimmy Takter's farm, then you went to see Tron Smedshammer at White Birch, and you didn't freeze to death. That's pretty good.
It's very cold here now, but the same in Sweden, so no problem for us.
Well, your previous trips to North America have all been fantastic for the most part. Dating back to 1986, you won the Roosevelt International with a trotter named Habib, and you were telling me off air that Habib's like 14 hands tall, one of the smallest trotters that ever came over from Europe.
Very small trotters, but very good head, and the trainers love the horses to have the good head, so he make it very good.
Winning the Roosevelt International had to be a huge thrill at that time. I mean, a tremendous accomplishment.
Oh, that's very big. In Norway, it was 3-4 side of the newspaper and the television follows many months, so that's very big.
And Roger, you are like a pioneer overseas, because for the longest time, most trainers drove their own horses, but you decided to use catch drivers, had a great relationship with the great Ulf Thorsen, who actually won a Hambo with Nuclear Cosmos here. He was known as the god overseas. How did you decide to use catch drivers, and how did you settle on Ulf?
I like the catch drivers to take care of the horses, and I beginning with Ulf Thorsen was a very big thing for me. I have never been where I know if I not know the Ulf Thorsen. It take me up to the top, and after that I have very good drivers, and now I use much Örjan Kihlström and Johan Untersteiner. You know, you have the eye for drivers. You must like them, and you have a drivers you not can talk too much for. Only look at how kind of drivers is.
And here in the United States, drivers will switch horses week after week after week. A trainer might list Tim Tetrick, get him 1 week, next week it's Brian Sears, next week it's John Campbell, but you like to stick with the same guy, either Kihlström or Untersteiner, to drive all of your horses, correct?
Yes, just for I said before that I like long time together, so we're not to talk too much with them. They know what I will, and take care of the horses. That's absolutely the best. In USA, you have only 4 or 5 races you have to win. We are in Sweden. We have many horses, many races, so we take care of the horse.
Roger, the first time I remember seeing your name was back in 2007. You brought a mare named Giant Diablo over here and raced her at the Meadowlands, her first start in North America. That was on June 29th, and Dave Miller drove her, and we found out just how tough she is. Here's the roll into the race right now, and Giant Diablo really opened some eyes with this effort. What do you remember about her first start in the U.S.?
What I remember of this race was that I was in Sweden, and the caretaker called me in the night, throughout the night, and said she'll win. So,
and she was very game too, getting up just in the nick of time to nail it at the wire.
Yeah, she was a fantastic horse. So, but it's very difficult to take a horse over from Europe to USA and to take some race for to do the very best. So. But well, that was a fantastic horse.
She ended up 4th, I think, in the Breeders' Crown. I think she was 4th in the Maple Leaf Trot versus males. Then you took her to the Red Mile in Lexington for the All-Arage against the boys once again. We're going to roll it in from the far turn. If I remember right, it was like 85 degrees that day, really humid. The track was live as can be, and Giant Diablo ends up winning, trotting to a world record of 1:50.1, fastest mile by a trotting mare, and equaled the all-age record, too, for trotters on a mile track. This had to be a huge thrill. You're not even in the picture right now, just starting to angle out around Corleone Cosmos.
When I look at it from the side, and before race, I think she could win the race, but the time, the mile for 50, I don't think about that. And if you've seen her, if Johan, the young guy, have driver for last 100 meters, you will go under 150. So, but when I stay there and look at it, it was the greatest I have been with in my life.
And Johan Untersteiner, that was his first drive in North America. And later on, he picked up a catch drive that day in Donato Hanover's Kentucky Futurity Final. And Donato trotted 150-1. So the guy comes to the United States. His first two drives are 150-1 trotting world records. That's almost unheard of. Now, you have a Donato Hanover filly on a giant Diablo, I believe, named D1 that's making a lot of noise in Sweden. Tell us about her.
It's fantastic to know that after the race, the owners of Donato called and said Donato have to be the father of the first fall of these horses. And I said, yes, I tried to do that. So she go to Donato first, and nothing happened. So the next year, and have a Donato, and that's filly. I was in Stoner Creek to see her yearling. Oh no, before the yearling. After 2-3 months, I said to the one guy was with me that this is a horse for your stable, and he said, okay, if you say that, I buy her.
And she's done very well. Will we see her in North America maybe next year or so?
Not next year. It's too much big races in Sweden for next year. But I think as a 5 years old, we had to try to beat the record for the mother.
Wow, that's pretty good. Well, you'll have to trot in 50 or faster to do that. That's winging right along. Roger, you came back in 2012 with another trotting mare. Her name was Tamla Celeber. Struggled a little bit early at Hoosier Park and at the Red Mile, but you had her right for the Breeders' Crown Mare Trot. Let's roll it in here. You decided to put Brian Sears up. I think you're 10th on the outside on the far turn. Talk about this race as it unfolds. What were you thinking?
That was very happiness a race for me, because we have trouble with her. We're going over to Lexington too early after a European race there, and we have trouble to get her in the top form. But after a few races, we have help of Aus the 3, and the qualification was okay. I talked with the driver, and she says she is okay now. We will be better next time. And when Örjan sitting in Germany for snow, and we changed for Brian says, I took help of Trond Smetshammer. He said, "What shall Brian do? Try to win the race," I said. But I don't see that she win, because I was in Woodbine. I don't see the stretch, so I was very comfortable.
Well, you were pretty surprised then when she swept the field. Brian Sears did a great job. Last question for you, Roger. Why are the foreign trainers so successful? Jimmy Takter, Trond Smetshammer, even back to Team Nordin. Why do they do so well when they come to North America?
Because we have a very good ground, and we're beginning down and take care of the horses more than many other people in the world.
Roger Walmann, thanks so much for joining us. We're glad you chose to visit the Meadowlands. You and your friends have a nice time up in Trotters. Have a couple glasses of wine on us and enjoy the races.
I hope so, and I'm very glad to be on the Meadowlands racetrack. I like it very much, and I hope I can come in many times.
All right. Hopefully we'll see you with a good trotter for the John Cashman Memorial on Hambletonian Day coming up. Roger Walmann, one of the top trainers in Europe, joining us tonight at the Meadowlands. We'll take a quick time out, and Wendy Ross and I will tee up tonight's racing action.